Hey guys, welcome back. So because the gyms were closed here in Denmark for a little while, I bought my own set of weights just to, stay active and do stuff at home. But sadly, you kind of need other equipment too if you want to have a nice, well-rounded workout. I started looking online for barbell stands and squat racks, but all of them seemed really bulky to me. The issue is that I work out in this part of the house, which is also the photo studio. You can see the roll down background there by the ceiling. And I don't want to have more clutter around here that I need to move when I need to use the background. So today, hopefully I can engineer my way out of this little predicament and hopefully build a custom squat rack that's perfect for my needs. So for the upright part of the squat rack, I'm going to be reusing some scrap material that I already had laying around the house. These metal beams once were a part of a big desk, but now I'm repurposing them. I want to be able to put away the squat rack when I'm not using it, so I'm starting out with building these flagpole-like holders that will hold the upright parts in place. The plan is to make the mounts as precise as possible, so once the beams slide in, they would be as secure as if they were mounted permanently. Now, as you noticed, I'm using very thick steel here, and it's quite the overkill. In fact, my little TIG torch had a hard time keeping up with the current needed to fuse such thick plates, so I had to take breaks and cool it off. So here's a little workshop tip for you. If you want to drill a big hole, start off with a small pilot hole, and that way the big drill bit won't slide around as much. The beam seems to be sliding in nice and tight, and if there's any slack left, the clamping screw will take care of it. The parts that will be holding up the barbell need to be quite long, and this is just because of the design of the rack. It will all make sense in a second. I'm using extra thick steel here because this part will be basically holding up all the weight and soaking up all the impact energy. I welded from both sides because the metal is very thick and I want it to be extra tough. The pin is not load-bearing, it's just for adjusting the height. Once there's some weight added, the beam will be held in place by the sheer rigidity of the part, well, and friction. Through the magic of cinema, now there's two of them, and this is roughly how you convert an old desk into gym equipment. This house was built in the 70s, and there was a trend back then to have indoor flower beds and gardens. This indoor flower bed is now filled up with decorative gravel and covered with a lid, but this is where I'm going to be mounting the squat rack and keeping it when it's not in use. Once I get rid of all the gravel, I plan on rebuilding this space into some built-in storage with some nicer compartments and nicer lids. But yeah, if you have any ideas what I could do with the gravel, please let me know in the comments below. These are concrete anchoring bolts, and they can hold up to 610 kilos each, and I'll be using 6 of them per mount. When tightened, they expand in the wall, making them unremovable. After bolting down the second side, it's finally time to try it out. The gap between the beams is the same width as the standard power rack or a squat rack, and the mounting points are flush with the brick wall, so when they're not in use, they're invisible. And the weight plates fit here too. After a few weeks of using it, I gotta tell you, I'm really happy how this one turned out. The height adjustment is really simple and quick, the mounting points are really sturdy and there's no slack in them, so the entire thing is really rigid, and overall the weight capacity of it is way higher than what I'll be using it for. My goal was simple. I wanted a squat rack that would be suitable for my needs, not a complete eyesore, and that could be put away in under a minute. And I think I succeeded. It fits perfectly fine under the lids on the stones with the rest of the weights, and in general it's just a joy to use. One thing that I would like to improve on this squat rack is to build a chest dip attachment. Basically it's this bicycle handlebar looking thing that you use for chest dips, a kind of an exercise. I think it would be a good addition. I know it's not going to be a complete replacement for a gym membership, but for like a decent workout here and there, I think it's going to serve me well. So yeah, not the typical electronics video that I usually put out, but still, nonetheless, DIY, and I hope you liked it. And that being said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.